What up?
That
What
was
up?
that was too professional.
Alright, so how are we doing this?
Hi, it's Brad. I'm here with Dippy Fresh on the Two
Hold
Dicks
on,
and a
let me,
Chick segment,
Brad, oh,
right? Right?
yeah.
Yeah. And we're interviewing more of Dipper's friend Simon,
Fuck
who's
you.
transgender. And we're gonna ask him some questions about growing up with his unsupportive family and being transgender and stuff, because nobody really talks about it.
Simon's pretty cool dude.
Very cool. He makes the art.
The art that should hard. Hard.
Okay, here's the video.
You should like start off by explaining your situation,
Oh, like who I
who
am,
you are and all
etc.
that,
Name, age, credit card number.
The important stuff.
Yes, please.
Well, my name is Simon Simone. I am 19. My last name is Wild, Wilde. It's a party all the time. I am trans. I have a very unsupportive family. And I'm still in high school. That's pretty much it. And I like tea, arts, and cat.
What's your favorite kind of tea?
Noble monk.
Noble monk.
You haven't been to the Copper Kettle yet. I recommend. I'm down to answer any questions, etc. It's multiple excuses and reasons. One, they're very religious.
Oof.
Is the main one. So it's like, even though it doesn't talk about being trans in the Bible, it does like say like one little page of mentioning something about being gay. In the Old Testament, along with not being supposed to eat shrimp or pigs, but they eat pork and eat shrimp, so it's just like, it's not natural. It's not like what I was born as, and God has a plan for me in being cis. And I'm just like, I felt like this for a very, very long time and have like internally struggled for so long till I came out. I mean, there's other people who are Christians who are supportive with it. You can be trans and be a Christian as well. It's more like living as Christ, and Christ wouldn't be like, oh, you're trans, fuck you. Like, that's not how it's gonna be.
I mean, there's a lot of, I'll use my grandparents, well, my grandmother now, since my grandfather was in the past, but I'll use my grandmother as an example. She had who would come to Sunday school, and she loved him to death, and she didn't treat him any differently than anyone else, and
Yeah.
she cared for him. She knew that he was gay also. That was the thing, was he was open about it. Didn't really judge him for it either.
I think of being religious is like a spectrum. Like on one end, you've got the people who are just like, yeah, I worship God, do whatever you want, I'll like still be your friend and support you. And then you've got like the old religious people that are like, nah, you can't do this, or you'll go to hell.
I mean, honestly, that's been the biggest struggle for me, because as a child, I was beaten, like, into the religion of, like, you're going to go to hell for this. So it's, like, honestly, even though I don't believe it, it's, like, a really scary thought of, like, why, like, or me being me, like, why do I have to burn? Like, what does that make sense? But
Yeah.
it made me very scared to be open about it. I mean, yeah, it kind of, like, because it made me think, like, yeah, I'm gender fluid, blah, blah, blah. But I also wasn't allowed to cut my hair. But when I cut my hair, I was still in the relationship. And, like, as soon as I did, like, it dawned on me. I was like, I know. I know, like, 100% sure. Like, this is why. And then I started dressing, like, more masculine and, like, telling my friends, like, hey, what if I'm trans? And it was a big pushing point to me figuring out and like learning how to deal with problems myself and figuring myself out, because I think it's more important to learn to love yourself and get to know yourself before you're in a relationship with anyone else. But that's just a personal opinion of mine, because I didn't know who I was, and I kind of still don't know who I am. I'm just kind of rolling with it now. I'm on the right path. Well, shortly before I came out, Ivy, who is not trans anymore, came out. Like, stole my thunder. Like, because Ivy already talked to Ivy about it, and Ivy was like, "I'm trans," so it made me like very scared, and like I didn't want like my friends like attention because it was like right after we broke up too. Like when Danny was like, "Oh, I'm trans," like, but I talked to Danny that day. I got my hair cut and was like, I think I'm trans," like blah blah, and it took me a good like few weeks to tell them because I thought they would be like, "Oh, you're just trying to like be in the spotlight of coming out and stuff like that."
Oh, like your
Um,
ex came out, so you're trying to draw attention to yourself?
yeah, like I'm okay with like men wearing dresses and wearing makeup, but like there's nothing. This is a very touchy subject for the LGBTQ plus community, especially the trans community. There are so many fights over this, and it's crazy. Well, what makes me upset as a trans person and dysphoric is when somebody has all the support, they have all the stuff, and they have like everything to try to pass and to like get away with it and be fine and go on TV and stuff like that, and they generally decide to like wear something with cleavage. Like nothing irks me more than something like that. Like it's like you say you have dysphoria, but the things that are causing dysphoria are just showing. Like that doesn't make any sense. So Danny started doing that, like wearing very showing clothing, and I was like, bruh. And then Danny, like a week later, was like, "Yeah, I'm not trans." And then all my friends were like waiting for me to say I'm not trans, and I haven't. I'm still trans.
Like they were confused about it, or they just wanted
Yeah,
attention based off of it, or
I think they were just confused about it. I think it may have been because even though like I don't think it was that hard on Danny, I think it was just like them trying to find themselves and stuff like that. But they like had a very like I had to sit them down. I was like, "You are not trans if you don't have dysphoria." And that's like the biggest thing in the trans community right now. Is like you could be trans without dysphoria. Like it's fine. It's a choice. And I was like, there are people with mental illnesses like I have, where if I like prom when I had to wear that dress, I literally wanted to be hit by a bus the whole entire time. I had like 3 breakdowns in the bathroom. I call them transgenders. Like it's okay to be confused and want to explore your gender and like things you like because I can say like gender can be like a spectrum. You can be non-conforming, but does not mean you're trans. Like people, like guys who are drag queens, they still identify as men, but they like to wear drag, and that's fine. But like if they don't openly go around drag 24/7, stuff like that. But people will do it for attention, or like, and a lot in like the younger, like you see, okay, everyone can see that people being trans is becoming like more popular, you can say. Like there's a lot more trans people than there was a very long time ago. And it's okay to be like generally explore that, but when you go on like what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into testosterone, and I already have been to therapy about this. I think if somebody's like confused generally about being trans or something, they should go to therapy for at least 6 months before they go on testosterone, because once you go on it, there's no going back. Like it's going to make changes that you cannot change back with your body. One, you'll never be able to have kids ever. You cannot get pregnant. 2, it's going to change your voice, and your voice is not going to go back to normal. Once it drops, you're done. And then like there's hair loss, and then you're technically, which I don't think a lot of people know. So basically, when you go on T, when your voice drops, you're going to grow a lot more body hair, and it's easier to gain muscle. So you will gain like muscle weight. The curves in your waist get filled out more. Your fat distribution changes. And then, which everyone's like, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable by that word," but I'm gonna say it anyways. But like clitoris, the little thing, yeah, that grows like a tiny little penis. Like it grows, and then you can choose to get surgery to get that bigger and to make like an actual thing. But the science for that's not like, it's not like, you basically are numb if you have surgery there, so it's kind of pointless in my eyes. But I can see for people who like generally want that, I'm probably going to wait like years down the road when scientists have found a better way to do this. Yeah, you have all these things that change. You can go bald, but usually hair loss, you get like kind of like a bit of a receding hairline, but it's more if your family has like goes bald, you're gonna get the genetics of if you were a guy, like born cis, you would have the genetics of if you would lose hair or if you want it. I want it. So I'm not worried about it. Yeah, as soon as I like thought I was trans, I immediately started doing research on everything just to like know what I was getting myself into. And I talked to my therapist a lot about it, and because you have to come out to your therapist, because I was already in therapy. So when I went to my therapist and told her, she said she wasn't surprised and kind of knew all along. And I was like, why didn't you tell me if you already knew this? And she's like, well, this kind of thing you have to figure out yourself. It was apparently like me being trans already in my folder for like a year, and I didn't know because I had dysphoria and I didn't understand that really what was my like where my dysphoria was coming from, and I didn't know like it was gender dysphoria. Like I knew it was gender fluid and stuff like that, but I kind of was. I guess I felt like I was forced to be gender fluid because I had long hair and I looked fair. I still look feminine, but like I don't know. It just made me feel like I had to be somewhat of a female in order for people not to like look at me weird and judge me. I guess I've never had a lot of friends that were girls. I would hang out with a lot of guys, and I still do. Like I have more friends that are guys than I do that are girls. And like when I was little, I would be like one of the boys. Like my parents, of course, would dress me very feminine, etc., like that. But I was very tomboyish. And when I hit, I think about like 11 or 12, I hated wearing dresses. Like even as a kid, I hated wearing dresses. I hated hair. I think when I was 13, I asked my parents to cut my hair, and that's when my mom was kind of like, "Something's wrong with you. You don't wear makeup, and you want to cut your hair off." And it's been a constant like a fight with my parents about me cutting my hair since I was so young, and like I guess my parents kind of knew I was trans as well as why they wouldn't let me cut my hair, because they would feel like I would start to think about why I was the way I was. Yeah, and like my mom making me get my nails done for prom and making me wear a dress, like trying to convince me I'm such a pretty female.
Mm-mm.
No. I'm still trying to chew this gel polish off. I mean, yeah. I mean, I got slapped once when I was a kid. I think I was probably in 6th grade, and I was young. I've always been, before I was in homeschool and got held back 2 years because of that. It's another story. I was younger than my class. I didn't really have a lot of friends, so when people started dating and stuff around 6th grade, I was a year younger than everyone. I was like 10 and a half. Like I barely made it in when I was in kindergarten. And when like guys and girls started dating, I started realizing I had a crush on a girlfriend, just like a friend that was a girl. And then like I went to my mom and I was like people are dating and stuff like that. And like I was never told as a kid, really, like my parents never talked to me about like anything LGBT, like ever. Like I didn't know. I was very like I didn't know like until then that it was wrong, because I asked my mom. I was like, well, like blah 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 kiss, like can I kiss her? Like I want to be around her, like blah blah. My mom slapped me across the face, and it was really hard on me because then I realized like it was wrong and blah blah, and like my whole entire like I've dated more girls than guys, I think. No, definitely more guys, but the more I guess I felt towards people were girls, like because like I don't know why. They're soft and nice and good. Make sure you are in a safe place before you tell them something, because now my parents are like dedicated to proving me wrong. So it's backfired on me a lot. And I tried to hide it from them for a very long time, and I would get in so many fights about it because I would deny it to them because I didn't want to be kicked out of my house. But like now I'm just like, you know this, but really just make sure you're in a safe place, because there are like, yes, my parents are proving me wrong and blah, 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 but I'm still in the house, surprisingly. There will be, like, if you genuinely feel unsafe, do not come out to your family. But if you're older, and you're probably about 18, 19, and you have a job, and you can survive pretty much on your own, or you have a place you can move out, and you know you have supportive family. I mean, like, if you want to come out to your parents, I would start off with, like, asking them what they think about it before you tell them, because you really want to make sure you're in a safe place. Because you don't want anything bad happen to you. And with your friends, like, especially if you're in high school, stuff like that, and, like, some of your friends hate you, and blah, blah, blah. And this is, like, female to male or male to female, and you don't want people to feel you different. Just, like, fuck them. They won't, like, if you're in high school, like, these people won't matter to you. Like how you said, like, if I lost friends, like, I did lose a few people of, like, not wanting to be around me, and, like, the hardest thing for me is, like, being in relationships now, since I've come out. It's really hard, because, like, guys will like me, and then, like, even if I'm trying to pass and blah, 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 they don't, like, I'll tell them I'm trans, and they'll dip. Because I'll be like, I can't be gay.
Yeah, I would say if you lose friends just from like coming out or like telling them that you're like,
They're not your friends.
yeah,
They're
they're
not.
definitely not your friends. And you heard it here
Yeah.
first. If you don't know what your parents are going to say, ask what they would do if your sibling was doing this. Just pass the
Yeah.
blame on them.
Put
Yeah, it's
blame
like,
on your sibling.
oh, you know, I steal your sibling's phone and search a bunch of stuff about it. And then,
Yeah, do research on it. Like, really genuinely
Yeah.
be like, okay, like, these are the changes that are gonna go, like, happen to me. Like, am I... Because there are people who detransition and stuff like that. They will go on T, and then they're like, oh, heck, I can't go back. And then you'll get opposite dysphoria, and then you freak out. And another thing, which a lot of people also don't talk about, is there's a difference between hating your body and, like, being... Okay, there's body dysphoria and there's gender dysphoria. They are two different things. Like, say you're overweight, blah, 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 and you're like, I'm trans, this is why I hate my body. Like, no, like, genuinely, like, try to take care of yourself. And, like, try to, I guess, fit with what you have. And just, like, tell some people, like, work out even. Like, get to a place, and, like, if you know that it's just because, like, your gender, like, you'll know. Like, it's something that you will know. And it's okay to be confused, and it's okay, because I did a lot of, like, when I was gender fluid and stuff like that, I did a lot of research on it, because I was very confused. And I was scared. Because it is a very scary thing. Like, thinking about, like, people, like, not liking you, or losing your family. But there's a point where I think everyone... And you'll get know this if you get older, especially to, like, oh, there's, like, a trans kid. Blah, blah, blah. There's a difference. Like, you make your own family. And that's something that I know. Like, I view, like, some of my friends, like, I have a friend named Robbie, he's so supportive. Like, so supportive. And, like, generally, these people really become your family. It's people who care about you no matter what. Because your real family, like, blood doesn't mean anything if they're gonna hate you and not love you. I know, like, when I go on TV and stuff like that, my family is not gonna talk to me, because they're gonna be like, we try to stop you, we're done. And I'm okay with it. I really am, because they're not my family.
Generally, I think it's safe to assume the more research you do on a topic, like, the less scary it becomes, because then you
better
understand it.
understanding you have.
Because the thing about it, because it's unknown, and to me, it's still scary. Like, it's a little like, oh, this is gonna be a roller coaster.
Well, yeah, but at least you know about it. You know what to
At least I know
expect.
about it. I know what to expect. Oh, another thing a lot of people don't know about testosterone is you're going to have mood swings. Like, you're going to get very angry. Because if you're a cis and you're a boy, you grow up learning how to control this anger you have. And when you go on testosterone, you're going to get that angry and you're not going to know what to do.
Except for
And you
Dipper.
also... Except for
Dipper.
Control anger.
Shut the fuck up, you asshole. Fuck you.
And another thing is that, okay, because you could do shots, or you can do, like, cream, or, like, something like that. I'm probably going to do shots and, like, switch to something else, because when you go on the shots, there's more, like, things move quicker. And then, like, your place that you go to, I don't know what it's called, but where you go to get the hormones and stuff like that, they can start you off in a small dose, or a big dose, or blah, blah, blah. They check your blood and weight and blah, 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 and decide what to give you from there. And
So,
then up your dose later on, or lower your dose later on, whatever your body needs. It's based on your measurements, really. And yeah, like the changes will like it's either like slower or faster. It really depends on the people's body and how they take it.
all right.
Of like how, because like I know a person who is trans and his voice dropped within a month.
Jeez.
Like a
You're a
literal
very
month.
tiny person, so.
And yeah, and then a lot of people, which yeah, you're still gonna have the same mental illnesses. And when you go on testosterone, you go on this, it's not gonna cure your dysphoria. A lot of people get confused with this, like, oh, it's gonna completely cure me and everything's gonna be better. Like, no. You're still not, your mind is still gonna be like, I'm still not in the right body. And you're still gonna pinpoint the things you hate about yourself no matter what you change. And that's anyone, really. There's always gonna be things you hate about yourself. And like, especially when you're on T and you feel like dysphoria and blah blah blah, you're still gonna get that dysphoria, like your gender dysphoria about like your chest or blah blah blah, or like your voice and how you look. Like, you're still gonna have that dysphoria because it's not genuine. And then you also get like a depressive crash 3 days. For most people, it's 3 days before you get your next testosterone shot, and it leads to a lot of people into committing suicide, which I've noticed is because when your hormones drop, it also makes like depression higher and blah blah. And it's also like you need to realize like keep control of your body and stuff when you do go on T, of like when you have those hormone drops, because you could be like, oh, I'm feeling like really crappy and I just want to die and blah blah. Maybe your hormone levels are low. More comfortable with yourself, and it helps, like it will help, but it's not gonna, there's no complete cure to anything anyways.
Like, pot with cancer patients. It helps the pain, but it doesn't cure you.
Basically.
Now, I start the outro? Oh, okay. Cool. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, everybody, that was our friend Simon, and we interviewed Dipper. Shut the fuck up, please.
Hey, this is my time to speak. Get out of here.
Okay, go.
All right. That was Simon. He's, as I said, he was a pretty cool dude, pretty nice. You should go check him out on his Instagram page. We're gonna link that in the description. Go check that nice stuff out, and give him some love and support. And yeah, that'll end this segment of Two Dicks and a Chick. But there'll be more coming out. We're gonna try to get it every Friday.
Or Saturday, or
Emphasis on
Sunday,
try.
or Monday, or Tuesday, depending on how late I sleep in.
Or next week.
Or next week. Yeah.
But you know, it'll come eventually. Just stick in there. You like 3 subscribers. I was like 8.
And if you like the video and you watched all the way to this part, why don't you like the video? Because if you like the video, it gets us out to more people, and that'd be super helpful. Also,
And-
subscribe if you want to see more videos like this or videos that aren't like it, because we also play games all the time.
Like our non-laggy Minecraft video.
It totally wasn't laggy. It's your phone, you dummy.
Just get a new phone.
Yeah, get a new phone. Get the new Pixel.
Get the pixel.
Alright, bye.
Oh.